Alrighty, well we're back. I've been doing a whole bunch of welding. Probably see me doing a little bit of it. We got the whole perimeter is all plug welded. We are golden in that area. I think my next plan of attack here is going to be working on these pedals. I wanted to move that pedal down. I can't bolt on my tunnel yet because I got to get some screws. So I don't have the right. I want to basically drill and tap these, but I have no screws to use and all this stuff, so that'll have to wait. So current plan, because this is set up for my booster, I want to move this down an inch, because then the reasoning for that, if you actually look at my pedal assembly, like, look how crazy that is. Look how off. See the rod here? This needs to be like up there. I could move it up, but who cares? I'll just move the works down. Not a big deal. I'll just notch this out. I'll drill some new holes, weld these up. I'm gonna make a plate for the front, but I gotta figure out where my clutch slave is gonna fit. So we know it bolts on and works right now. So I can kind of just mimic everything here off the car, and then we can kind of put it on. I can't quite do my steering yet because I gotta wait till my I've ordered a U-joint for the bottom of the steering column, so then I'll be able to do, you know, my connection over to my Vega box, make my mount on the frame for the Vega box, and then we can kind of get all the steering all done. We still have like lots of things to do in the chassis and whatnot. We're basically going through doing the really rough fit of everything on here right now before we circle back and kind of do the final everything. everything. Anywho, let's do that clutch stuff. All right, well, let's try to go through, So let's try to go through everything I just did. So essentially this is like a whole buggery of parts. This is, I think it's like a Corvette style master cylinder. And then I don't know what this pedal assembly is from. I think it's Jeep. I had to move this down so this lines up with this fork here. So essentially, I wanted to make sure that when this thing goes through its throw, this doesn't bind in here. So that's why I lowered it. And then the second thing I always like to make sure, I want to make sure that when my master cylinder bottoms out, my like my pedal doesn't hit the floor before my master cylinder bottoms out. You know, in case you blow a brake line, you want that little bit of extra squeeze if you can get it. So anyways, that was right. I picked out of a Silverado. I grabbed this as like the push rod. It was this much longer. I just cut it off, rounded the tip. I cut a bushing because this didn't fit on here very well. So I ended up having some brass there that was the right size. So I put that on there. So now we're good. So that's mint. Now I got to work on my slave cylinder, which should be pretty much the same deal. Shouldn't be too hard. It was the same problem for the most part. This thing doesn't fit. Like, I got this off of a Jeep. So I did find in the shed there was some kind of a master cylinder or something that had that little bushing on it, which does fit there. So we are golden that way. And this one, if we kind of have it around the same era lineup, it seems to be pretty good. Like, it does push all the way. It's kind of in the same range. Whoops. provided I keep this lined up with the other master cylinder. They seem to be pretty good. So now I gotta basically make a template that I can transfer to this firewall. All right, well, I've gotten all of this drilled and tapped, so we're good. I haven't put all the screws in, but pretty much this is so I can remove this whole tunnel section now when I need to. Now I'm going to work on the front face there. I somewhere have my paper template that you see me doodling on here. I'm going to measure that out and try to cut that onto the table so I can build a front-facing support, like a bracket brace. I guess I could put it behind too. Maybe it'll be prettier on the backside. Yes, maybe we'll do that. I don't know, maybe I'll do it on the front. I'll do that and I'll cut a funky design in it and it should be fine. And then we'll be able to stick it on the car and weld her in. Okay, so I made this Swiss cheese plate, but it's going to go on the back side, to which all my holes are drilled for my master, everything else. Just give the firewall some more strength than this 16 gauge. I think this is 16, or I don't even know what it is. It's not 16. It's not 14. Maybe it's 12 gauge, something like that. I don't know. Anywho, I don't feel it's not strong enough, so I'm going to put this in behind. I made this so I can just plug weld it all the way around, and then the master and the slave and the pedal assembly will hold itself to here. I'll have to continue trimming the firewall. I'll have to recess this a little bit more, but between everything I should get a whole lot of extra strength there. So I'm going to flip this over, run some bolts through everything so they're right, and weld it all shut. And then I can pretty much test fit it, and we'll see how everything fits inside of here and how we put it over to there. Okay, well, we blitzed the firewall in. It's all in. Still got to clean up the welds better, but we'll deal with that when it comes to day of body work. We got our pedals on. I bolted or I welded the nuts onto the back so they're just easy to access. The master cylinder I didn't do, but just so there's a wee bit of adjustment left to right. The pedals they're all mounted, but they're a little high. But that's okay, we got to move everything anyways. I want them down further because when the master bottoms, I wanted it closer to the firewall. So I might have to, I'm gonna work these pedals, adjust them to the clutch I'd like further back. Because I want the pedals to sit around that vicinity. That's my goal. So we'll work on that, figure it out. But at least the firewall's all mounted. It's a permanent fixture now. I guess I'm gonna drop the body down. I can try the pedals, see how I like them, and we'll go from there. Maybe we'll mount up get the steering column kind of started, figure out where I want that. I'll kind of do it wherever I can, closest to my pedals, and I don't know. We'll keep daddling. We'll see where we get here. Well, that worked out pretty good. You can see, we got that lined up. I don't have any mount or anything made. It's just kind of there. The cool part is when my Vega box is here, I can pretty much just do a U-joint straight to my Vega box. I don't need anything crazy inside of it. So I dig that. I don't know if that's a good thing or not because there's nothing to absorb in case of some crash or whatever, but I guess if you factor in an F1 box, anything else, it's pretty much a straight shaft going into the car anyways. Anywho, pedals don't look too bad. They're there. Steering column, kind of have that in a nice, I think is a good place. Sticks out a little far, but I'm gonna put a different wheel on, which will make it worse. So I might be able to sink it in. We'll see, depends how this feels with my legs and whatnot. I do not like my pedal placement as it is. Hold on here. Grab a light. See where my pedals are? Well, they hit my high-low beam switch, which doesn't matter. I can change that. But like I say, I kind of want them around there. So it gives me more leg room. Right here, I pretty much have to always have my foot on the clutch. Like I can't put my foot underneath or anything. The pedals are surprisingly actually in a good spot. So anywho, where they are, it's good. The brake pedals have to kick out a little bit. Like it's usable, but not great. Like if it was a little wider, or like I say, I'll probably bring this down and bend it out a wee bit. That should fix her up. And then this one, I don't know if I'll heat and bend or we'll just kind of take it off and stick it behind just so it sits back more. I don't know. I'll play with it, figure it out when the time comes. For now, everything's kind of in its place. I'll have to make up a gas pedal yet. I'll have to do one like I used on my what do you call it? On the Merc, where it's just one of those hot rod pedals kind of thing. I'll have to make something like that. What are we doing? I don't know. Didn't do too bad tonight. Seats, I'm still not sure what I'm doing. I'm thinking maybe I'm going to make like a bomber style where I can kind of use this pad in it. Like a loose bomber style seat. This and then some light padding in the back. With some speed holes. We still got a couple bit of patchwork back there to take care of yet. But that can wait for a while. We can do other fun stuff till then. Okay, next step. I'm going to put this steering wheel on. This is the one I guess, for the most part, this is the one I want to run. I'm going to get that one on, see how it feels. Whether I'm going to put my steering column further in or not, we're going to see. Right now it's like kind of far out, but I don't know. I want to see when I'm sitting in the car how well it's all going to fit. Whether I'll be happy with that or not. If anything, I can kind of shuffle it down more. I want to get that out of the way so I can build a bracket to hold the steering column. And then I can make a mount on the bottom to which I can bolt it to the firewall. And then we can kind of work with the pedals a little bit, get them a little better. I might go to the shed and just grab a regular GM gas pedal and just see if I can make that work with the current room situation I got going on down there. So first things first, pop wheel off, put the other one on, see how I like the feel to everything. All right, well, I think that's gonna work. I took this bracket. I'll have to hodge out these holes up here yet, but I got 2 bolts in. Looks like I'll be able to bolt it up to the dash. We'll just have to cut a plate for the bottom, and then we'll have to move these pedals around. I gotta get them to where I want them to sit, but I don't know, looks weird, but it's actually really comfortable, so like you're kind of stuck having to tilt all the way down, but kind of seems to happen with these. I don't want to drop the column anymore, so we'll do that, leave it as it is, and then I'll do it on the inside, but I'll make a plate on here that'll bolt to the firewall, and then if the guy has to remove it, they can remove it, but pretty cool. I think we got her. So now I gotta run to the shed, grab a gas pedal, see if I can get that to work. I think if I hack it up enough, I can get it to do the motion and everything it's supposed to do down below. And then we'll work on these pedals. At least move them out of the way a little more, or do something where they're supposed to go. They're supposed to go somewhere. I just don't know. They're supposed to go somewhere, I just don't know where yet. Like I want to bring them down some more. I want them to be right. I'd love these both to be somewhere there. I think that would be the ideal. This thing's got to come over, and then I think I can just end up tweaking my clutch pedal over, and that'll kind of squeeze me a little bit of room. The only problem I find is I'm probably going to want to make a kick panel in here, but maybe I can't, just so I got some room for my feet. We'll see. Anyway, I'm going to go in for supper, and then we're going to come back and tackle this thing again. Or some more. Well, after a whole bunch of heating, we got our pedals about where I want, which is just behind my high-low beam switch. Just. Clutch is in a comfortable spot. I have a gas pedal, but I'm not too happy with it. Like it's pretty tight. I'm not gonna be able to wear like regular shoes in here. So I think what I'm gonna end up doing is I'll take the pedal off, like just this part, and I'll put a little spoon or I'll do something. Just gives me a little more room. But these are all fine. The only thing I'm gonna have to do is get some light in there for you. See, this part here is where the electrical normally goes. So I'm gonna take that part off the column. I'm gonna get rid of this thing just so my foot has nothing to bind on. I think you can see that. I don't know. This doodad here. This wiring sits in this little harness. So I'm gonna move this harness out of the way. So it's kind of way out of the way there. My electrical and stuff won't get in the way of my foot and my brake. Kind of made everything a little tight in here. Things feel not too bad up here. I've drilled and bolted that. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta find this back piece and then I gotta get a blinker arm for this thing yet, or make one or something. Other than that, we just about have like this section tied up anyways. I think, what are we? Just about 11. I'm gonna quickly cut the plate and tack it in. I won't drill it yet, but I'm gonna make the plate at the bottom for my steering column. Then I'm gonna weld it to the steering column, to which then I can bolt to the firewall. Yes, that's the piece I'm gonna make. And then I think I'm gonna call her a night. All right. Let's quickly draw us a lower steering column mount. We'll do this real time. You'll realize why I do this. It makes my life so much easier. I just do small pilot holes so I can drill them out after. So that's as simple as it is. I'm gonna just cut this after, fold it, and stick it around my steering column. So maybe I'll make an initial mark here. No. Here's the thing. A feller just always screws with stuff and then you never, oops. You never remember how you do anything. We're gonna make this thing 1/8 of an inch wide because I can weld that. Let's do that. All right, that seems pretty straightforward. We're gonna cut this on a piece of scrap after. This is the only problem I don't know with this program. I have an old version of eMachine Shop, so I can export into a file that my my other software can read. Yeah, we will work on that a little more. I clearly screwed that one up. We'll go for attempt number 2. I didn't compensate for the fact that as this shaft goes down and this squares out, it gets rounder or more oval shaped. So, all right, let's try this again. I can make it work. I know I can. But we'll make a new piece. Alrighty. Well, attempt 2 got us what we wanted. This one didn't quite cut it. It was pretty close. It's just, I made a perfect circle and I should have made it a little oval. So we got that one. I don't know if you can see, but she's down there. I'll have to pull it out to fully weld it. It's the same with the, actually there's nothing to do on the top. I have to hodge these holes a little bit just so I can get all 4 bolts in. But other than that, we got our pedals pretty much mocked up. We got our column in. I don't even remember what we all did in here. I know we did the tunnel, like bolted her down. Oh, we welded the firewall. Yeah, it's kind of been taking a while, so I'm kind of lost where I'm at here. Pretty swanky. Got quite the setup here. Still waiting on these bits, so whatever. Is what it is. Not sure what the next step is. I guess it's going to be to mock up the box, kind of get that and all these broken pieces to work and do what I want them to do. The only one problem is like this one stake pocket is just hammered. So we'll work with that, figure it out. Still got to figure out this wheel. I'm really thinking what I'm going to do is try to come up with some jig or something and I can just cut the center out. And I'll be able to weld in another one. Won't be too bad. Like, it shouldn't be too bad. Unfortunately, I can't put it in my lathe, so that's the only crappy part. I could do a blind cut and then try to weld it up. We'll see. We'll see what we do. So I got some 14-inch wheels that are kind of garbage, but they're the right bolt pattern. So if this hub's the same size, I could just do a really crappy cut in there. Do the other one, kind of tack it, but I could put it up on the car, bolt it up, put a dial indicator on it, and I'll be able to spin it and try to make sure it stays true. After the fact, I'll just put it, even though it's trued up, I'll end up putting it at the rear of the car in case something weird about it doesn't like the jive, but we'll figure that out. The other wheel is good. I'd like to try to find or make some caps or something for it. That'd be all right. The rear part of the box, oops, this is what I want to keep. I want to be able to keep this curl in it, so as long as my box is, I'll be cutting it back just to put this back into it. So if I want to add the 2 to 3 inches, whatever the pocket is, I will be basically cutting, I don't know, let's say 2 or 3 inches off the box to get this cut. So that's kind of the plan. We'll see how this all works out. A whole lot of work. It probably would be easier to make new box sides, but we'll use what I got. I wrecked this box. I may as well keep using it. It's not any good for anything else after the fact, so I chopped it up. We can't use these box sides for anything else, so they're rough, but they're not bad. The whole truck is rough. It's going to get paint, but this sucker's going to still be rough when it's said and done, so. Anywho, I think that's where I'm going to leave this one. So as always, folks, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Later.